Scientists deploy robot translators for interspecies communication and behavior control. Can you imagine if you would be able to use a robot to talk to your cat or your dog or your hamster or your little pet turtle? This is on RT today. Fish and bees have been able to communicate for the first time in this way, courtesy of a few talented robots who mimic and control their actions in an unusual experiment that translated behavior cues across the species lines. Quote, the robots acted as if they were negotiators and interpreters in an international conference. Through the various information exchanges, the two groups of animals gradually came to a shared decision. This is what Francesco Mondada of the École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne in Switzerland said of one of the researchers. He was one of the researchers of the clearly named CCIBF experiment. The Austrian bees synced up their behavior with Swiss fish by communicating through a robot translators, which allowed these two species, the bees and the fish, to understand each other's behaviors and soon had them moving in a similar fashion. This is unbelievable. Previously, the experimental robots had only been sent in to infiltrate the single species animal groups in order to influence their behavior, blending in with unsuspected clusters of cockroaches and chicks. The researchers had already perfected using the bots to convince a school of fish to swim in a chosen direction by replicating their behavioral signs, tail movements, accelerations and vibrations, and visual signals, colors, stripes, and shapes in a previous experiment. Meanwhile, the bee bots controlled their compatriots through vibrations, temperature variations, and air movements, and connected to one another across 700 kilometers and one national border. The robots mimicked both species quickly, compared notes, and had their minions dancing to each other's tune within a scant 25 minutes. That's it. Translating the information each received from the other into appropriate behavior signals for their respective slice of the animal kingdom. Mondada says the species have even started adopting some of each other's characteristics. The bees became a little more restless and less likely to swarm together than usual, and the fish started to group together more than they usually would. Amazing. This was published in Science Robotics. The researchers suggested their work, quote, may open the door for new forms of artificial collective intelligence, which could find applications in selective rewiring of ecosystems, end quote. Flocks of birds could be steered away from airfields, and the dramatic decline in bee populations could potentially even be reversed if strategically placed robotic overseers were able to direct the swarms away from pesticide-ridden farms and towards organic crops, if that wasn't the plot of a Black Mirror episode premised on the robo-bees being hacked and turned into crowd-steering assassins. Note to robo-bee programmers, use strong passwords. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, And we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.